All right, let's get to the next game. The next game is a um, sequel in this series. I already covered the first one. The second game is in this continuation of the game in the series is Trekking the World. Like I said, I previously did Trekking the National Parks. Now we are trekking the entire world. In a nutshell, in this game is pretty much the same to trekking the national parks. Um, it's got a couple of different things in it where um, trekking the national parks you have to you can move if you want or whatnot. In this game, you have if you're able to move, you have to move, which makes it a little bit more difficult to land on the spaces that you would like to land on to get locations and stuff. Between the two games, this one is more. I like this one more than I do trekking the national parks. Let's check Board Game Geek real quick and let's look at the numbers for the game so far. All right, like I said, this is Trekking the World. This is the second one. This one just came out last year in 2002 or 2020. Um, the overall rank is 1,815. It is for 2 to 5 players, ages 10 plus. Playtime is 30 to 60 minutes, and the weight is a 1.89 out of 5. So, a relatively easy game to learn. Like I said, it's pretty much the same as trekking the national parks. There's a couple of different things in the game, um, but it's relatively the same. Like I said, and it is. I do like this game better than I trekking the national parks. Um, they already announced that the next game in the trekking series is going to be probably, if it's done correctly, is probably going to be my favorite out of the three. It's trekking through history. I am a huge history buff, so I'm really excited to see what things of history they are going to put in the game. I have no idea if it's going to be about wars or super historical events like landing on the moon or whatnot. I would assume. Um, I'm not going to assume anything. I don't know exactly what's going to be put in the game, but I'm looking forward to that one. I don't know exactly when that's going to be on Kickstarter. I think maybe later this year or possibly next year. All right, let's just open this up real quick. Um, what I like about this game is one, the board is a lot smaller than trekking the national parks. So that is a plus. I mean, the board's still decent size. It just, I believe it's smaller than the national parks. There you go. That's pretty much the whole thing. Um, you got the whole world, and then it also has this awesome container to store everything in. It's got trekking the national park or trekking the world right at the top there. Got the bag for your different pieces. Um, these are actually wooden cubes this time instead of the plastic little pieces for trekking the national parks. Each person, and this is another different thing between the things, each person has their own player mat, aka suitcase, where you play. It has two different sides. This one side is a two player, and then the other side is 3 plus. Um, so that's one little different thing of it. And you got these little tokens here to give you um, victory points. And so everything's got their own little space and stuff in it, which is really cool. Um, then you got the cards, which is the same from they're different, but the concept is still the same for trekking the national from trekking the national parks. You got different colors and you got different numbers, which is the same of for trekking the national parks. So you got that. What else you got? What else you got here? You got this one comes with a score sheet for everybody, so you don't have to get your own piece of paper. Got player aids, and I'm just gonna throw, and then I'm going to. It's got player aids for everybody. Figure out what you want to do, and then I'm just gonna go through some of these, and then you got your actual places and where it throughout the world historical places are. You got the Galapagos Islands, Old Havana. There are a couple of repeats from the national parks, because I mean some of the national parks in the United States are um, really important places for the entire world. You got National Mall, you got Niagara Falls. What else you got? Here comes Mount Fuji, Eiffel Tower, Timbuktu. See, here's one that's different. That's the same. You got Grand Canyon, both in the same game. Pyramids of Giza, the Great Barrier Reef. And the cool thing is on the backs of these cards. I'm gonna go on the back of the Great Barrier Reef real here, and it will actually tell you a little description about it, which is really cool. So when you pick up these cards, you can actually learn a little bit about each location. So it's you can learn stuff while you're playing this game, which is really good. Which I'm expecting them to do in Trekking Through History when that one is released on Kickstarter in the next year or so. But in general, it is relatively the same. Same game as Trekking Through the National Parks. I prefer this game, like I said, over the national parks, which is actually really, I mean, I don't get me wrong, I love the national parks. I've been to a couple myself, but I actually in an upcoming videos I actually have another national parks game that I prefer more than trekking through the national parks. So I still have a national parks game that I really enjoy playing. But there you have it, folks. That is Trekking the World. Like I said, I don't know when Trekking Through History is going to be released on Kickstarter. I said I believe it's going to be relatively soon. And then you got your own pieces, all the different colors. There you have it, folks. Like I said, from now on, I'm going to do just a quick overview of the game, an unboxing, showing you all the different components for the most part. The games that are coming up that have miniatures in it, I'm going to do my best to show off some of those miniatures. Some of the games have just a ridiculous amount of miniatures, so I don't know if I'm going to show off every single one of those. But I will show off the painted ones. If I get those painted before the game comes up in their slot, then I will show off all the painted miniatures that I have for each game that I have. And when I keep getting more games from Kickstarter and stuff, I'm trying to do this in numerical order and all that stuff, from the least ranked to the highest ranked. If I get a game that is already passed it number wise, then I'm just going to do it at the end of when I'm done through all this. When I get down to the highest rated game. With that, I might even like the Kickstarters that I just got that might be possibly coming up in the next couple of games. I might actually hold those off also until the end, because since they're so new, the number fluctuates a lot more when they're newer because more people are starting to get the game, more people are rating them, and it fluctuates a lot more. So let's say, like I said, I do have Bloodborne coming up in the next few games supposedly, but since it's a brand new game, um, it's ranked. Let's say, I don't know on the top of my head. Let's say it's ranked 1500 right now, but by the time I get to that game, it could be ranked all the way up to 900. It with it being new games and all that stuff, it fluctuates. So I think once the games that I have started, when I started doing these videos, if I got a game from Kickstarter since then, I think I'm just going to push those off to the end, because all the games that I have prior to that are pretty solidified on where they're going to be ranked for a while. I mean, they'll still go up and down, um, some spots, but they're not going to go up hundreds of spots or down hundreds of spots or even thousands of spots. Um, those are pretty much set in stone for right now. They will fluctuate. The older the games get, the more they drop off of they go down in rankings and all that stuff. But they'll still hold their number for the most part. I mean, they'll still go up and down, maybe 5, 10 spots within, a few months or whatever, but that's nothing compared to hundreds and thousands of spots. All right, I've been going off on a different thing than just board games for this video, so I'm going to end it there, and hope to see you guys come around in the future. All right, thanks for stopping out. Talk to you guys later.